me stand, the horn sounds. Hell Knight sets off an explosive, killing Black Knight, Templar, and Plo Koon. Sir Maximus runs away. Varnish grabs a shield. Subaru pushes Umbral Knight off a cliff during a knife fight. The Knight runs away. Siegfried snatches a bottle of alcohol and a rag. Skeleton Knight, Toddy, and Crota work together. Meta Knight finds a bag full of explosive. Ice Knight runs away. Jeep Scissors grabs a backpack. Jean, Darkness, Ironclad, Ganfor, Fernando, Moon Knight run away. Malric takes a spear. Skull Knight gathers food. Fernando constructs a shack. Subaru, Moon Knight, Ironclad, and Jean hunt together. Furnace pushes Ice Knight off a cliff. The Knight thinks about home. Malric and Meta Knight work together for the day. Skull Knight receives a ham sandwich. Siegfried receives a hatchet. Skeleton Knight crawls under a glass bench that Darkness is sitting on. Ganfor forces Sir Maximus to kill Hell Knight or Toddy, who refuses to kill, so Ganfor kills him instead. Crota practices his archery. Jeep Scissors gets dragged into the land by a land shark. Malric screams for help. Ironclad begs for Subaru to kill him. He refuses. The Knight and Meta Knight hold hands. Skeleton Knight screams for help. Moon Knight tries to treat his infection. Jean tries to treat his infection. Fernando, Skull Knight, and Crota sleep in shifts. Ganfor, Darkness, Toddy, and Hell Knight tell each other ghost stories. Farnese and Siegfried sleep in shifts. Subaru severely injures the Knight and leaves him to die. Crota begs for Meta Knight to kill him. He refuses. Malric sees smoke rising but decides not to investigate. Farnese receives a ham sandwich. Moon Knight injures himself. Darkness tends to Siegfried's wounds. Fernando receives 29 bucks. Ganfor receives $14. Skeleton Knight smells like heat and realizes he's on fire. Skull Knight attempts to shake Ironclad's hands, but his handshake is too firm. Hell Knight chases John. Todd receives 17 wounds. Farnese and Toddy tell each other stories about themselves. Moon Knight defeats Malric but spares his life. Crota and Siegfried tell each other's stories. Ironclad kills Jean with a hatchet. Fernando, Hell Knight, Meta Knight, and Darkness stay up all night practicing Mongolian thrusting. Ganfor is unable to start a fire. Subaru falls into a lake and drowns. Crota and Fernando kill themselves. Ganfor thinks about home. Meta Knight and Siegfried work together for the day. Darkness, Malric, Hell Knight, and Moon Knight and Toddy track down and kill Ironclad. Farnese jetpack malfunctions and they crash headfirst into a tree and die. Meta Knight receives clean water. Ganfor goes to sleep. Toddy reads a dictionary. Hell Knight dies and is resurrected. Moon Knight sets up camp for the night. Malric goes to sleep. Darkness receives fresh food. Siegfried reads the dictionary. Cornucopias are replenished. Hell Knight shoots an arrow at Moon Knight but misses and kills Siegfried. Meta Knight decides not to go. Ganfor destroys Malric's memoirs out of spite. Todd decides not to go. Darkness gets lost on the way to the feast and stumbles across some wild Portland residents and is crossbowed to death. Malric steals from Meta Knight. Hell Knight receives an explosive. Toddy receives 17 doubloons. Moon Knight receives Ganfor's wife. Toddy tries to sing himself to sleep. Everyone else sleeps in shifts. Hell Knight steals from Ganfor. Moon Knight tries to spear fish with a trident. Malric shoots an arrow into Meta Knight's head. Toddy receives bountiful corn. Hell Knight severely injures Malric and leaves him to die. Toddy climbs a tree to rest. Ganfor screams for help. Moon Knight sees a fiber states in him. Toddy sandbags Moon Knight in a doorway and he is killed by Ganfor as Toddy merrily skips away. Hell Knight is pricked by Thunderbolt picking berries. Hell Knight wakes up to motorcycle noises and howling and is killed by the rival gang. Toddy kills Ganfor for supplies, which means Toddy wins.
I mean, not bad.